goals was the key to being successful. But the more I think about it, the more I reflect on it, the more I realize that accepting responsibility for your life is the starting point of all great accomplishment. And it's been well said over and over again that it's not the government, and it's not our parents, and it's not your boss, and it's not your family or your bills. It's you. One of the things I found, and sometimes it's hard to get used to, is the fact that no one else can live your life for you. No one else can make decisions for you. And in the final analysis, no one else really cares. And without the acceptance of responsibility, nothing else is possible. Walking, talking, thinking, and acting like a fully responsible human being gives you a feeling of calmness, confidence, and self-control. Your income, your status, your security, your power will always tend to be equal to the responsibilities you take on. This is one distinct area where winners and losers part company. Winners always look upon themselves as the cause of what happens to them. Losers are always blaming someone or something else. We know that people always seek the fastest and easiest way to get the things they want. And if something goes wrong, the thing that they want is to get off the hook. So the fastest and easiest way is always to blame someone else. But when we blame someone else to that degree, we give control of the problem to that other person, and we take control away from ourselves. And we become more and more negative and frustrated the more we try to make other people responsible for things in our life that we don't like. In fact, if you stop blaming other people, you'll find that most of your negative emotions will go away. If you can't blame anybody, and the way you stop blaming is to accept responsibility. Losers never accept responsibility, and winners always do. When things go well for losers, they blame it on luck. And when things go poorly for losers, they blame it on the system. But winners accept both the credit and the blame for everything that happens to them. Fully responsible adults always look upon themselves as self-employed. They act as if they own the place. They treat the company they work for as though it belongs to them. The worst mistake you can ever make in your life is to ever think that you work for anybody else but yourself. All peak performers in every field and industry look upon themselves as though they worked for them, even if somebody else signs their paycheck. They look upon themselves as being self-employed, and they treat the company as though everything that happened in that company was theirs. They accept full responsibility. If a paperclip falls on the floor, they pick it up. They never say, "That's not my job." When they refer to their company, they say us and we instead of they and them and the boss and so on. Wherever you see an employee who is not totally committed to the company and to their work, you see a problem and you see a person that you should never allocate more responsibility to. When we come out of school, we sometimes make the mistake of thinking that if we are to be educated further, it is up to our employer to do it. And this is one of the worst mistakes that you can make, because irrespective of whether or not your employer offers you training opportunities, you are 100% responsible for continuing to upgrade your skills. Now, here's another area of responsibility. The winner always asks, "What results are expected of me?" One of the qualities of peak performers is that they are always very results-oriented. They always ask themselves, "Why am I on the payroll?" And if you're not sure why you're on the payroll, the first thing that you have to do is go and sit down with your boss and ask him, "Why am I on the payroll?" Now, you don't have to use these words, but here's a very simple technique. Take and write out a job description of what you think that you're on the payroll to. Write out a list of all the things that you're supposed to accomplish and give it to your boss. Have your boss organize that list in order of priority. Which is most important, which is second in importance, which is third in importance. And then always work on what is most important to your boss. Ask yourself, what can I and only I do that, if done well, will make a real difference to my company? If you own your own company, this question is even more important. But working for another company, this is the key to rapid advancement and promotion, and do what will make a difference. To accept responsibility for specific results, and always results that will make a difference, winners always focus on solutions. They ask, where do we go from here? What do we do from here? There's a big difference between winners and losers. Winners always look to the future, and losers always look to the past. Winners always look to what can be done, and losers always look at who's to blame. Losers focus on problems, winners focus on solutions. Winners always look to themselves when there is a problem. Losers always look to others. So if you want to achieve success within your work, always look to yourself whenever things don't go right. The rejection of responsibility leads to negative emotions. It leads to stress, it leads to denial and anger and frustration, and often psychosomatic illness. A negative mind actually depresses the immune system and makes the body sick. I think the refusal to accept responsibility for one's life is the primary reason for negativity and unhappiness in our society today. Many doctors are asking patients a question like this: why did you need this illness? Why did you need dissonance? Because what they're finding is that when people become sick, it's almost invariably because they need an illness to help them avoid dealing with some situation in their life. So what they do is they contract an illness which is consistent with the severity of the situation. For instance, if you're feeling a little bit tired and overworked, you can contract a cold or the flu. If you're feeling very, very harassed or frustrated in your life, you get something worse, right up to and including heart disease, strokes, and cancer. They found that many sick people, and especially very sick people, have a tendency to hold grudges for long periods of time, and that forgiving others is a vital part of getting over the illness. In my experience, if you cannot forgive offenses against you to that degree, you are held back from success, and the more grudges you have, the more bitter you are, the less forgiving you are, the more unhappy you will be all of your life. So make it a rule, as they say, never to let the sun go down your anger. Make it a rule to forgive everybody in your life who has ever done anything that has hurt you, and let it go past so that you can commit all of your energy to start accomplishing the things that you really want in life. Well, what have we learned with regard to responsibility? Number one is that the acceptance of responsibility for your life is the stepping stone to peak performance. And until you accept responsibility for your life, nothing happens. Number two is the more self-responsible you feel, the more control you have, and the better you like yourself, and the higher is your self-esteem. Number three, the expression of negative emotions caused by blaming others causes you to lose control and suffer diminished self-esteem. So catch yourself and stop yourself from blaming others by catching yourself and saying, I am responsible. I am responsible. I am responsible. Remember, the responsible person is solution-oriented, focused on the future rather than the past, and on what can be done versus who did what. All human beings make mistakes because we are anxious to get things and to do things the fastest and easiest way, because often we're ignorant and we don't know everything we need to know because often we're ambitious. We're in a hurry because often we are vain and our egos get in the way. Because of these things, we make mistakes, and all human beings make mistakes. A person who cannot accept the fact that others make mistakes is not cut out for greatness, is not cut out for leadership. Number five, the acceptance of complete responsibility for your success is the starting point of all great achievement. With someone or down and say that if anything that is going to happen to you or for you in life is up to you, that you cannot wait or hope that other people will do things for you, that you must take complete charge. Now, you will find a very interesting thing. When you accept total responsibility for your life, other people will help you. And if you don't, nobody will help you. Even if they do, it won't do any good. So say to yourself, what is it that I want to accomplish? Where do I want to go? Where do I want to be? What do I want to have? And what do I have to do to get there? And then take full charge of the process. Number six, make a habit of forgiving others, never carrying grudges around. Keep your mind calm, positive, and focused on your goals. Your ability to eliminate the expression of negative emotions, to keep your mind positive by not becoming angry or frustrated, is a hallmark of the successful personality and the healthy personality. Your tendency to blame others, to hold grudges, not to forgive others, is something that can cause you to fail and to underachieve in life. Number seven, finally ask yourself each day, what kind of a company would my company be if everybody in it was just like me? What kind of a company would my company be if everybody in it was just like me? This is the question of the truly responsible individual, and you will be amazed at how rapidly an attitude of responsibility can accelerate your career. If you walk, talk, and act like a responsible, self-assured individual, you will begin to feel calm, confident, and positive about yourself. If you will resist the expediency factor, the tendency to blame others when things go wrong, if you will discipline yourself to accept full responsibility for what happens in your life, it will raise your self-esteem and make you feel much better about yourself and everything that you're doing. By practicing the self-discipline necessary to refrain from blaming anyone for anything, you will develop courage, character, and self-esteem. If you do what successful people do, you will be successful too, and all successful men and women are self-responsible.